What is going on, sisterhood? And what is going on to my sisters? Welcome
Hey,
back to
love.
another episode, yes, of What's That?
Sister chat.
That's right. And you guys, y'all already know 2020 has had a lot of surprises. 2020 has given us a lot of things to think about and consider.
Yes.
And it appears that one of, dare I say, America's most well-known families has also been considering some things during this 2020 year. So you guys know recently it was announced that the Kardashian family will be ending their 18 season long show, Keeping Up with the Kardashians, their reality show. So you guys, I know that for a lot of people, this was like big news. And am I still here? Can y'all still see me and hear me? I hope so. But totally. I know that, okay, cool. I don't know what happened. My screen just went black. But I know for a lot of people, this was really big news. And you guys know that we watched a lot of Keeping Up with the Kardashians a lot of the time. So I am wondering from you guys, what was your first thought? What did you first feel when you initially heard that the Kardashians were sort of coming? We were coming to the end of a Kardashian era. They were going to be ending their reality show. What was your guys feeling? Cece?
I feel like I always get called out first, right? So I don't know. When I first heard, I kind of had two feelings. One, like, oh wow, like okay, and then like after that, immediate was like, oh, well, that makes sense. And then that was kind of how I reacted to
it. Okay. Did you feel anything like on the inside? Like, were you like sad? When was the last time that you watched Keeping Up with the Kardashians? Do you remember? Like, do you keep up with it?
So I did not keep up with the Kardashians. When we were younger and we used to watch, I feel like the people we used to watch back in the day are not the same humans. And I mean, of course, in life, we should grow and we should change, we should become different people, but I don't recognize them anymore. So unless there's some big scandal, I pretty much don't bother tuning in. So the last time I watched was when we had the Sister Chat episode about them physically fighting each other. And I was like, holy cow, we got to talk about this. So I had to go and watch it. But before then, it had been literally years. I haven't kept up.
Okay. What about you, Shells?
Yeah, my initial was like, okay. They've been on a long time, so I can see, it coming to an end. I too had not watched in I don't even know how many years. I think the last time I watched was when Khloe was married to Lamar, maybe the last time I watched.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, I haven't kept up with them either. So yeah, I felt indifferent. Like I wasn't happy. I wasn't sad. I was just like, okay.
You said Khloe, the last time you watched was when Khloe was married to Lamar. And my thought was, oh, the good old days, which I'm sure she doesn't feel that way, right? But like, they used to be so cute together. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
They were really cute together. Like, seriously, y'all. Well, I mean, I can dig it. I didn't really keep up with the Kardashians either, unfortunately. I don't remember the last time. I mean, I know that I watched it when they had the fight and all that good stuff. But before that, I think it was when Kendall started modeling. Was the last time? No, it can't be. But I can't remember the last time that I really watched him, like watched every episode and everything. But I was still kind of sad when they said that, because I'm like, it's the Kardashians. They're supposed to be on TV. Like, what are we doing? But I understand it too. I understand, like, they've been on TV for a long time.
Yeah.
So yeah, in fact, they've been on TV for, gosh, 13, almost, it'll be 14 years when they officially end in 2021. But yeah, they've been on since October of 2007. So that's a long time, right?
It's a lifetime ago.
Yeah,
Exactly.
really is.
And I'm so happy. I'm so happy that you just said that it's a lifetime ago, because I'm wondering, like, for you guys, would you actually allow cameras to follow you personally, or even your children? Because remember, they were kids when this first started, and now they have kids too. And they're letting, these cameras follow them and their kids around, and pretty much for their entire lives. So would you do that? Would you allow cameras to follow you and be on a reality show in this way, in the same way that Kardashians have been?
I've thought about it. I have thought about it, but I don't know. Part of me is like, "Ooh, that might be kind of cool," and then a part of me is like, I don't want nobody up in my space like that." So, I mean, saying as though I don't have any children, it would just be me. My life is kind of boring, so I don't think I would last. I mean, you know what? I'm gonna take that back. I might last a long time on TV. You never know. But I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. I think it would be cool. It would be cool. I just don't know about the privacy. When you become that person in front of the camera, everybody feels like they have access to you and they have a personal opinion about what you're doing in your life. And I don't know if I can handle that because, I don't know. But as far as children, I don't think, if I did have children, I don't think I would want them in front of the camera like that. Not on a reality show, maybe on like a scripted show or something, but not a reality show.
I can dig that. I totally get that. What about you, CC? What do you think?
Y'all remember American Idol? Y'all remember Randy Jackson? Well, all I have to say is it's a no for me, dog. It's a no for me, dog. Like, no. I look, this is one that's my favorite expression right now. I've been saying it like crazy. Poor Jason has had to hear it like crazy. But I have in my past watched a lot of reality TV. A lot. And I've come to grow and spend my time doing lots of other things most of the time. But from what I have seen, reality TV just seems to destroy relationships, and it turns you into a caricature of yourself. And so many people, they go into these roles and then they lose sight of who they are. And then there's all of these issues that come from it. So I literally am not game. And that's saying something, because I'm not against all reality TV. There's a reality show called Play to Win that one of my mentors does, that I seriously considered applying for it and decided not to. But that was more like The Apprentice, right? It was more that kind of a style and that sort of a flow. So you still, I mean, when you sign these contracts, and this is one of the biggest things Tamar Braxton had, she had that suicide attempt recently, and one of the biggest things that she said is that you lose creative control over your identity and who you are. The editors and those people get together and they create who they want you to be. And so, yeah, that's a no for me, dog. I'm already talking too much.
So unless you're your own editor, you're not doing it.
I wouldn't do it either way. I think putting myself under that type of a microscope for people to watch the inner workings of my life, no. And I put myself out there. I'm on camera often. I do a lot of marketing. I do a lot of video. There are people who reach out to me and they feel like they know me. And that's without my personal life. And so having these people all up in my marriage, all up in my personal life, all up in my relationships, my sisters, that's just a no for me.
I mean, we kind of already y'all already know they kind of keeping up with us, keeping up with the sisters, because we.
I was gonna say that.
So they are kind of
kind of
already seeing us. but it is a little different, and I can definitely, I definitely understand and agree with both of you. I don't know if I would want people to be like all up in my family and my kids' life and everything, because like we see what's happened. Even like people who aren't on shows, like we see how people talk so poorly or so badly about Blue Ivy, and you know, it's like so many people, like even I think it was Hillary Duff had to like fight somebody, not like what's my words, but y'all know she had to like defend her kid. Like a lot of these celebrities have to do it, and of course we already know, like if you're gonna put your kids on a reality show, you're asking for it.
Can I just say,
Yeah.
back in the day, I did want to be on The Real World.
Same. Back in the day, I told you, and you know, I think some of that is youth too, right? Like we were so young when and that was like all before Real World Las Vegas, right? Las Vegas,
Yeah, it was
just
with
became
Tammy
like,
Roman.
yeah,
You know.
there was an element to it that felt more authentic, even though I know that there were, you know, there was producers and all these things involved. I mean, once it got to Las Vegas, they were all just sleeping with each other and it was just like a mess.
Right.
But when I was younger, man, the idea of it was so cool. Like you could get together with these humans and you could have this collective experience with one another. And, you know, you get a job and then you know, navigate being roommates. Like I thought all of that was really cool. Like the way The Real World was put together, I thought was really interesting. But that also had like a start and an end that was very clear. Like for the next 3 months, I'm going to go and be under this microscope, right? And that's very different than I'm going to spend, how many years did you say, Sharice? 16 years? What did you say?
13 years.
13 years. Like Kylie Jenner was like a kid. And now she's like a grown woman, billionaire with a child. Like literally we saw her life unfold. And that's a level of scrutiny and that I'm just not interested in people seeing, you know, like a short thing, like a specific concept, a contest, something, but like your life just, oh, it's too painful.
Right.
I can dig it. Like, and especially like for Kylie and Kendall, who like literally had to go through their like, and I don't mean this offensively, I just mean like we all deal with this, but they had to go through their awkward teenage years, like, you know, on camera, like in front of the world to see, like, you know, at least we get to go and do that and hide under, you know, our blankets or in our shell, wherever, but they had to do it like
on camera
in front of the world.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know if I would want to subject my children to that. And I agree with you guys. That's what I was gonna say. I would do a reality show like competition or something like that, where it's just me. It's not my kids. It's not my, you know, my family or anything like that. I don't think I would want to put them, because unless, like, I feel like if I did that, if I made that choice for them, that would be wrong. Like, you know,
right.
I kind of feel that Chris did to her kids. Like, I don't signed up for it. You know, they were so young, they couldn't really, right? So they kind of had to do it. They were born into it,
right,
if you will. So, you know, but okay, cool. So since we're on the topic of kids, and we know that the Kardashians, you just mentioned, and obviously we know that Kim does as well, and Courtney, basically almost all of them have kids.
Everyone with Kendall.
All of them has, yeah.
And let's not forget about Rob, okay? Just saying. Yeah. I just thought about him, and I'm just like, you know, let's not forget about good old Rob. We love you here, okay, Rob? But I was wondering, would you guys watch a show that featured the Kardashian kids, like Mason and North?
No, I would not.
North and Penelope and Rain and Saint. There's so many of them. They can have like such a good like spinoff.
Nope. Not watching them. Nope. Not
also a no for me.
I just,
I
what would they have like? What would they bring? Like, first of all, they're really, really young. So why would I be watching little kids? Second of all, why would I be watching little kids? I don't
Right?
know.
It's like, is it like toddlers and tiaras? Like, like what is the concept of this show with these children? Because I can't see any reason why they would have my attention.
Fair, Mason is like 11 now. Like he's like 12. Like he's basically a teenager, a preteen, tween. But so was Kylie and Kendall when they started on the show. So I'm just saying, like they were. But the show was about their older siblings. I understand that.
The next generation will watch. We're done. So the next generation.
The kids that are watching Disney Channel right now, you think will watch Mason and Penelope and all of them, Saint and North?
Yes, maybe.
You don't think so, Cece?
I don't. Like, I have a really hard time picturing it. They would have to have such shenanigans that it would be really entertaining to watch, especially for children, because kids got those little attention spans, and they like cartoons and action and things that are exciting, and watching a bunch of rich kids sit around. And I don't mean that in any sort of derogatory way. Like, I'm so happy for them. Their parents got that bag. Like, congratulations to the Kardashians. I think that what they've done financially makes a lot of sense. But like, you're gonna have to be more than the Kardashians' kids to create an audience that would be interested, especially if they're children. You know what I mean? Like, they have to have some reason to be invested in them. And unless they're going to script it, I mean, if they decided to put together a scripted show, which they could, because they are sort of a diverse little group of kids, right? They have a whole cast. Now, if they created a scripted show, yes, 100%, you could have children who would be into that. But just them living their lives, I don't see the appeal personally.
Right. I can dig that. It's interesting because I think I would watch a scripted show of that, but because I think they're so cute. Like, I don't know, they'd be cute to watch.
Scripted, but it could be a lot of fun.
Yeah, but there's been like TMZ recently said that, oh well, they made a family decision to end their TV show because their branding was getting better recognized and more, more views on social media. So like, I could imagine their kids, because I'm sure North has like an Instagram or something, or TikTok or something, you know what I mean? Like, I can imagine their kids being really popular on social media. And I think that's what,
That's it. TV is, and I don't mean this in any sort of a bad way, and you might react differently because you're an artist in that way, but TV is becoming more and more obsolete in a lot of ways. And I think when it comes to branding, which is what this family has always been about, their show has always been an offshoot of their brand, a way that they can market themselves and market their businesses. I mean, so many of the spinoffs were about their business here. Oh, we're opening up a new Dash store, all of that. I mean, that was the function of it. But social media completely takes over that role in a way that I think is easier, because Mason can go and he can get a TikTok and he could dance and he could build millions of fans and followers that way without having to expose every inside area of his life. I feel like it's safer. You don't have to give so much of yourself. You can be the persona. You could be on when, for that 15-second clip. That's a lot different than trying to fill 22 minutes of TV.
Right.
Well, 22 minutes of TV, and with cameras following you, because that 22 minutes comes out of like literally 4 hours or 5 hours of their day just having cameras follow them. And for some days, like literally 12 hours of cameras just following them around. So, because they want to make sure they capture the moment or whatever. Right. So yeah, I definitely agree. Social media might be the way to go for their brand. So with that being said, do you guys think that Keeping Up with the Kardashians, the show that they created, has been good for their brands or for the Kardashian family, or do you think it's been bad for them? Because it could be both ways. So I'm interested to know which one you feel is stronger.
I mean, they built their business off of it. They built their, they got the bag off of it. So it helped. I think right now the negative like stories that are happening around them is kind of, I don't want to say tarnishing their brand, but it is bringing a sort of attention to it that they don't want, that negative attention. So it is kind of messing up their brand. But no, they built their brand off of the drama. They built their brand off of, the things that's going on in their lives, off of them building their businesses. Like that's how they built it. So I think it worked out for them, but now they're trying to go in a different direction. I mean, Kim is going towards being a lawyer. She can't be on TV anymore doing the same shenanigans. She's about to be well, she's trying to be a lawyer. So, you have to change with the times, and she's just changing with the times, I guess. They're just, and I think a lot of
Evolving.
the viewers, yeah, and a lot of the viewers are starting to evolve too. I think their viewership may be not as where they want it to be either. I don't know the
Totally.
numbers, but
Their viewership went to trash, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I have nothing but respect for what they put together, and
right.
I will answer your question in a second, but I love that you brought up the viewership thing. I mean, they used to have a crap ton of viewers. I mean, you were like so engulfed and ingrained in what they were doing, and they were really strategic in the way that they connected the TV show. And okay, this kind of does answer your question, right? I think the TV show was massive for their brand. I mean, Kim claims to be a billionaire, Kylie claims to be a billionaire. They're all multimillionaires. I mean, as a family, they have created a true financial abundance through this vehicle, which I think is huge.
Right.
But in these my first answer to your question was like, oh, that makes sense, is because their viewership has decreased so much, and they didn't do much to change that. They got more guarded with their lives, which I understand, right? They've had a
Mhm.
lot of very public scandals, and the turnaround time. I mean, to watch a season and you finally get to hear their
What
version of
happened?
it, but you saw it play out on social media. You saw it play out through 20 news cycles. All of these things happen. Like over time, it just didn't make any sense to continue the TV show. But I think it was huge for their brand. I will say
Yeah.
that where it comes to negatives, I think it did true damage to their relationships.
Oh
And
yes, most definitely.
I mean, we watched very publicly marriages and divorces and painful breakups. We watched, alcohol addiction. We watched drug addiction. Like there were all of these really painful things. And in the end here, you really start to see their sisterhood, which was the whole point of the show, right? Is this family unit thing. You start to see that deteriorate. I mean, all of the stories online, I didn't have to watch the show to keep up with the storylines, were about this sort of infighting between Courtney versus Kim and Chloe, and this whole idea of her being lazy because she doesn't want to put her whole life out there. And then there are all these clips, these sound bites that came out of the arguments that they were having, where you had to kind of look at that and go, well, do they really even like each other right now? I feel like, and a lot of that is because your life stopped being just your life. It started being the brand. And there's
Right.
there's a level of entanglement. Thank you, Jada. Right? There's a level of entanglement that really screwed with their relationships. I mean, I don't know. I don't have an inside track to their family, and I certainly haven't watched enough of the show, but I would be curious to see where those relationships land once the cameras turn off. Is Do Chloe and Kim and Courtney actually make up? Or does Courtney live up to her words, which are, I can't wait for this thing to be over? I'm paraphrasing here, so that I don't have to keep having these fake relationships with these toxic people. That's her talking about her family. So, in a lot of ways, I do think that it had quite a bit of personal negativity, but in terms of branding and financial, monetary, business, absolutely the TV show was huge.
Yeah.
Long answer,
Right.
sorry.
Yeah, I think you guys covered all of the bases there, for sure. And I really just love that what you just said, Cece, about like I hope that they are able to mend their relationships once the show has ended, and they've had some space from the public eye in this way, and they've had some space from each other even in this way, and they're able to like sort of get back together and have their sisterhood, because we know how important sisterhood is, okay? And so I am wondering what you guys think, what you suspect is going to happen with the Kardashian clan. What do you think is going to come next from them? Do you think we're going to see them again? And well, I'm going to start by saying I hope that they mend their relationships. We see in the future, we see some kind of reunion, that maybe, we'll have all of the amazing people that were ever on the show together and loving each other. And it can just be for like one little quick episode or something. Don't gotta be a long thing. But I just would like to see that, because there was a lot of people that came through that show and I think really made impact in those people's lives. And I think it's important for them to like be able to like see each other, maybe in some broken relationships, and like move forward. So maybe we'll see that happen. What do you guys think is going to happen?
I don't think we've heard the last of the Kardashians, honestly. Now, as far as Kourtney's concerned, I do believe that, she's always been a little different than her sisters and the rest of her family. So I do believe she's going to go into like privacy mode. But I do believe we're going to hear, we may not hear about them for a few years, but they're going to come out with something else. I just feel it. Especially with, Kim, like I said, becoming a lawyer. She might start a lawyer reality show, or, her pursuit to being a lawyer or whatever. And definitely will continue seeing them on social media. Like their social media has blown up, and it will continue to grow. And I do believe we're still going to hear from them. I honestly believe that they're not going anywhere. And I do hope and pray that and I do believe that they will make up. I do believe so. They just need time away from the cameras. That's all.
I'm not convinced. I hope so. I totally hope that they mend their relationships. I'm not convinced that it will happen though, right? It's like when you're not forced to be in the relationship, at some point you do have to decide, is this relationship serving me or is it toxic? Which I think is what we talked about when we talked about them fighting and coming to physical blows. I truly hope that they find whatever peace they need, and whether that looks like really well-mended relationships, or if that looks like a little bit of separation, then, hey, I wish that for the best for them. I definitely do not see them disappearing from the public stratosphere at all, like even in the slightest. I think that this allows them to do different things in media. Khloe always kind of wanted to be like the talk show host, and she's had a couple of attempts that didn't quite work out, but I think that you sort of open that up because you're not in a contract with E anymore, so right. There's other things that they could pursue. At one point they all had their own apps where their fans were paying to get special content. They let go of that, but they could bring that sucker back, right?
Do you guys remember Kimoji?
Right. That's what I'm saying. I think that they actually have room here to create whatever the heck they want. They certainly have the money, and they certainly have the fandom to sort of branch out and create. Kourtney's been doing this lifestyle brand that is important to her, and I think that that's where she'll flourish, because it's sort of personal. I've always liked that about Kourtney. She's a kindred spirit, and she's like, let me make sure my food is gluten-free and I'm not having these chemicals, like I totally relate. You want to live this healthy, and she wants to live this sort of Zen life. And now she doesn't have to be in such a chaotic environment. I could totally see her blowing that up. I heard Kim is branching out into lifestyle, or not like pillows, like Martha Stewart. I can't think of what that. Yeah, like home goods and that kind of a thing, which I think will absolutely blow up. I think we'll see a lot of sister collaborations, just like they do now, where they'll do a Kylie and Kendall line, or a Kim and a Kylie line, or whatever, with their cosmetic brands. I mean, I just see from here, this is the thing about business, right? Here I go in my little, and I'm going to shut up after this, right? But that's the thing with business, right? You put in all this work, especially at the front. you're working, you're working, you're working, you're working, you're putting in all this time, all this energy. Now they got that thing going, and once it started going, it started pumping out the dollars and it started pumping out the money and all of that. And it takes a while, right? Different people with different amounts of influence and different amounts of resources, it might take a while. But they've spent the last 13 years planting seeds that will allow
Yeah.
them to go anywhere, do anywhere, be anything that they want to be at this point. So absolutely, I think we're going to see tons and tons and tons and tons of the Kardashians. And I think that it'll feel more organic because you won't have to wait an entire year or 8 months or 7 months to actually hear the story. They get to have even more of a grip on their lifestyle. And the way things have been going lately with, Kanye's mental health things and, the public issues in their relationships, I think it's the best thing that they could possibly do is take more control because they've done the work up front.
Right.
I agree. And I think that as far as their businesses are concerned, you're right. You guys are both right. They have done so much, and y'all know Mama Chris is not going to let them get out of the spotlight. I don't know how Rob managed to get out of the spotlight, but he's probably the only one. I think we're still going to hear from Courtney. Kendall, maybe not so much. Kendall might just, stick to her modeling and kind of do her thing in the background, but definitely we're going to keep hearing from Kim. Definitely Chloe. We're probably going to see her. I can definitely see her on a talk show, like The View, not The View, but y'all know, a show like The View, not The View.
Like The Real.
Like a roundtable discussion kind of talk show thing. I could definitely see that, Kylie, she's a mom right now. So I think she, come on. But she is definitely, what you got to say, Cece? Go ahead.
No, talk, girl. I'm loving where you're going. I just thought, you remember Fashion Police with Joan Rivers? The Kardashians could totally put together a fashion-related talk show like that where they are judging fashion and they're talking about makeup and they're talking about beauty. Look, I'm pitching this idea out here and I probably shouldn't, but y'all hit me up. Give me some of the royalties on that because I think it would be such a great idea. But you know what? They should do it. They should do it because that is exactly where their brands makes the most sense. So yeah, when you said that, I was like, dude, they could create their own version of that.
That's true.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I definitely think we're going to see lots and lots and lots from the Kardashian family. I'm excited to see what comes next for them. Excited to see them going off of TV, but we keep them on IG and in the tabloids. So we're going to see lots and lots more of them. Me personally, I love the Kardashians. I think they're wonderful business women. I know that they have the things that they go through, as does every human being on this planet. So I try not to judge them in that way. I just know that they know how to rock and get that bag. So I applaud them. I think they've done amazing for themselves over the last 15 years. And, I look forward to seeing more from them. Do you guys have anything else that you guys want to add?
No, best of luck to them.
That's it. Best of luck to you guys. And to our audience and viewers that have watched and stay with us for this episode, thank you so much. We want you to join the sisterhood so that you can be in tune with everything that's going on with the sisters. Make sure that you hit the subscribe button. Make sure that you hit the like button and comment in the comments below and let us know what you guys think is gonna be going on with the Kardashians coming up. And would you watch a show with their kids? Would you? I want to know. That's a no for me, dog, as TC said. But anyways, guys, we love you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of what's that?
Sister Chat.
That's right. We'll see y'all later. Peace.
Bye.